This is one of my favoriteest ever networking devices out there. This is the TrendNet 500 megabit Powerline AV adapter kit. Now, it says it's for AV. I don't know why they call it AV, but ignore that. The important thing is this will do 500 megabits across your 120 volt power. And literally all you do is, if you live in a house, plug them in. I got two of them. And you'd normally want to go much farther than this. But literally all you do is plug it in, the power light comes on, the Ethernet light comes on, and the power line link light comes on saying that data is moving across your power lines. And it's 500 megabits with a gigabit Ethernet interface on the bottom. So with this, what you're going to be able to do is basically move network at 500 megabits. And that's not full gigabit, but for most things, it's going to be a lot better than using your Wi-Fi, especially if you're playing Xbox or doing something like that. If you have a connection that's going to be, fast, like you're going to stream video off of your network attached storage, or you need to run a line out to your garage, or you just don't want to pull Ethernet through the walls of your rental unit, which is what I want to do, is not pull Ethernet through the walls of my rental unit because I'd like to get my deposit back. This is also pretty well priced. It's about $100 on Amazon. The link is in the description. There are some cheaper versions that only do 200 megabits. The problem with most of the cheaper 200 megabit ones is that they are 200 megabits across the entire system, but each port is only 100 megabit out of the Ethernet. This one's gig out of the Ethernet, so you're going to be able to go the full 500 megabits. There is some traffic shaping and QoS stuff that comes on the install CD. For the most part, you never have to touch it. You just plug these things in and they'll work. If you live in an apartment complex, you do need the install CD because you're going to want to enable the encryption and a couple of other options so that some other neighbor can't plug in and just see the stuff that's on your network. So there are certain cases that on the bottom of these, I'm going to disconnect it, there is this sync button, here. And you may want to plug in the first time in a scenario like I am where you could touch both of these at the same time, because if you push the sync button, it will link two of these devices if for whatever reason they've plugged into something else. There's also a little pinhole reset on the bottom that you can push with a pin or something small that will reset them to the factory defaults. And that can be useful if you've screwed anything up or whatever. So that's pretty much it. You don't generally need the CD. The CD is included if you need to do QoS or if you need to change the settings to use a different channel, or if you want to enable encryption so that your neighbors can't see what's on there. You don't need to do any of that stuff if you live in a house. $100, TrendNet, a couple of other people make them, but this was the cheapest one that did 500 megabits with gig Ethernet interface. And it really is as simple as the box says. Connect the Ethernet cable, plug in the first adapter, plug in the additional adapter, connect an Ethernet cable. Poof, you are running. It does matter. You want to make sure that you get them oriented so that they aren't one upside down of the other. They're supposed to figure it out, but they do tend to run faster if you actually make sure that they are the right, situated right way up so that the left and the right on both ends of the cable are the same. And these will not work very well through power strips that have noise reduction, because basically the way these work is by sending the signal across your system. And so noise reduction will interfere with the signal. So that kind of means don't plug this into a power strip or a UPS. Plug it in to the same outlet as your power strip or UPS. So there you go. I love these things. $100. The link is in the description.